Hello everybody, my name is Hunter Wright coming at you from Wolnot, and today we'll be reviewing Monday Night Raw, May 12th, 2014. Let me start off things by saying that this show was really boring. We started off the night with the Shield pretty much attacking Evolution, who came in their typical limo. The Shield got the upper hand and then requested a rematch for Payback. Now this was weird, and Triple H even acknowledged this during his promo by saying the Shield requested a rematch for a match that they've already won. This was weird booking. It should have been done another way. But I'm looking forward to this match. They need to add a stipulation of some sort, maybe an elimination type of stipulation or something, because I don't know how they're going to top their first match. Their first match was really good. But okay, so as the night continues, you see some interesting things, but at the same time, it could have been more interesting than it was. So we see Sheamus take on Curtis Axel and then Ryback, and they both end up losing. Now Ryback, I feel like he should have picked up the win somehow, and they should have had a match at Payback for the US title. I mean, Ryback is a great wrestler, and WWE pretty much screwed up his momentum. He was great during the Feed Me More times, and no matter what they do with Ryback now, he just can't get over anymore. And if you're gonna make him a jobber, then you can forget about Ryback. I feel really bad for the guy because, like I said, he had so much going for him 2 years ago, and that's all just gone right now. Especially being in a tag team with Curtis Axel, he's going nowhere. The night you saw pretty much Alexander Rusev, and he pretty much attacked Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Big E came out for the save. There was USA chants and stuff like that, which is gonna lead to a match at Payback, Big E versus Alexander Rusev. This is gonna hurt Big E a lot because Rusev needs the win. So I don't even know what's going on with the Big E character anymore. It's clear that Adam Rose is going to be in a match with Jack Swagger. Adam Rose helped RVD pick up the win against Jack Swagger, and it's so funny, at the end of the match you just see RVD following Adam Rose to the back, and somebody was like, oh, the only reason RVD was there is to see if Adam Rose had any ganja. So I thought that was pretty funny. The night ended off like a typical night, which pissed me off. Evolution, it was Batista versus Roman Reigns, which was a decent match, but then there came a clash between Evolution and The Shield again, and Stephanie McMahon brings out all these jobbers. The Shield gets the upper hand, and they have a stare down to end off the show. I thought this was really weak. Come on now, you guys just can't keep on doing the same bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. Another thing that I thought was pretty weird and interesting at the same time, Daniel Bryan is having neck surgery. Now, I don't know if this is part of a storyline or not, but his promo was really weak. I feel like the fans are kind of turning on him already, which was super fast. But then comes out Stephanie McMahon later on, and Kane drags out Daniel Bryan's body. So I don't know if Daniel Bryan's going to be out, if this is part of a storyline, but if they're continuing matches from Extreme Rules onto Payback, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in Payback at all. Like I said, Raw really didn't have much going for it. We saw Paige take on, who was it, Alicia Fox? Whatever her name is, I'm pretty sure it's Alicia Fox, and Paige won, and Alicia Fox had this meltdown, which was more interesting than the match itself. Now, I love Paige, but Paige she's in matches with nobody interesting. We saw 2 Divas matches on Raw. We saw another one with Nikki Bella taking on Natalya because of some Total Divas drama. I feel like Total Divas isn't even that important anymore. They don't even advertise the show like they used to. WWE is really slacking. I don't know what they're doing. But like I said, this Monday Night Raw was really bad. I mean, they keep this up, they're going to end up having the same ratings as TNA. And, just shit is going downhill. I wish there would be a week where you could have a great Raw, where you would have a whole bunch of things to talk about. I was watching Wrestle Reaction do their podcast show after Raw, and even they didn't know what to come up with. They just kept on talking about past matches, and every time they do a podcast, they end up talking Undertaker WrestleMania matches. So you know what? I'm going to do my top 3 Undertaker WrestleMania matches. The first one No, I'm gonna start from number 3 and work myself to number 1. Number 3, I would have to say, is Triple H and Undertaker inside a Hell in a Cell. With Shawn Michaels as the referee, that was amazing. There were many moments where you were like, holy shit, Triple H might actually do this with the help of Shawn Michaels over there. And when you see those three at the end of the match, you see Undertaker's back and everything. That was just a brutal match, and it was such a lackluster WrestleMania that match truly made that WrestleMania. Number 2, obviously, it is Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. I mean, that's as close as it got. If the streak was going to end, that match should have been the match that ended the streak, if it was going to end at that time. Because it was just the closest it's ever gotten. When Brock Lesnar beat the streak, you didn't have that closeness like Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker did. But at the same time, I'm putting number 1 Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. From a match standpoint, it wasn't that good. Brock Lesnar controlled the majority of the match. The only reason I'm putting this as number 1 is because it was the most unexpected thing that could have ever happened. Plus, it's a huge name type of fight, Brock versus Undertaker. It was a decent match. Wrestling wise, it wasn't as great as the other two that I mentioned, but it was more. I put it as number 1 because of what happened, how it was built, where it happened. Because during that match, everyone knows where they were at that point. You know, when Brock Lesnar pinned The Undertaker 1, 2, 3, everyone's jaws dropped, and you just know exactly where you were at that point in time. So that's the reason I'm gonna put it as number 1. Yeah, Raw, like I said once again, they really need to pick things up. What I'd like to see is, what even happened to Bad News Barrett? What's going on with that? Once again, he won the Intercontinental Championship, and he's becoming irrelevant again. I feel like anyone that holds the US title and Intercontinental Championship just end up getting washed away, which is sad because those are title holders. I feel like they should make the title, the WWE and World Heavyweight, into either one title or 2 titles again, because that's not doing much. We saw the same bullshit again, John Cena and the Usos taking on the Wyatt family. I thought this match was the same old shit again. It's like getting that Fandango and Santino thing constantly. It's the same bullshit, which is really, you just don't want to see that shit. And I can't believe there's no competition for the Usos. Like, I was excited when the Usos won, they're great, but the tag team division is falling again, They have so much talent. They should probably turn the Big Show and Mark Henry heel again and do something interesting with that. Or maybe even Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane form their own freaking, team or something. There's so many opportunities, And just, they're not taking advantage of what they could do, especially with all this new talent that's coming. It's just, they don't know how to use them. Bray Wyatt pretty much jumped into main event type scene with John Cena, but here comes Rusev feuding with Big E, which is pointless. Here comes Adam Rose feuding with Jack Swagger, which is pointless. And what's even happening to Cesaro's push? I feel like he's gonna die out with what they're doing to his push. It's not really that interesting, He's teamed up with Paul Heyman, which is amazing, but Paul Heyman can actually destroy people also. I mean, look what he did with Curtis Axel and Ryback. I mean, at the same time, Curtis Axel and Ryback did that to themselves, but Paul Heyman really didn't help them at all, I feel like Zeb Coulter is a lot more, I don't know, he can put talent over than Paul Heyman. And I guess the reason being is because Zeb Coulter comes off as a heel and a face. It's really weird, but I do love Zeb Coulter. And I was really loving the Real Americans, I thought that was great. I feel like they really messed things up with this whole Paul Heyman, Zeb Coulter thing, and they could have continued the Jack Swagger feud even more, and it could have even led to a Zeb Coulter, Paul Heyman type of match. That would have been a great gimmick match. But they're just not doing things the way it should be done. I know a lot of people are complaining also. I'm not the only one. But guess what, guys? We're going to see the same shit over and over, especially now that pay-per-views are becoming what's called special events. Please. Such bullshit. They're not going to put as much emphasis on pay-per-views like they used to because they pretty much don't need to sell it anymore. You got the WWE Network and that's it, you know? That's all they care about. I think the WWE Network was a bad move on WWE. You know, I understand people weren't buying pay-per-views, but instead of making the pay-per-views better for people to buy, you just try to put some network out there and shit like that. I don't know. And now they got the whole $25 gift card referral things because the number of people that signed up were just way too low. What did you guys expect? You know, even for the price point. But yeah, I mean WWE really until SummerSlam, I don't know. Hopefully we get to see Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan. I keep on saying it constantly and I'm going to keep on saying it. Brock versus Daniel Bryan would be great. You got two different guys in sizes and different wrestling skills. And that would be a real underdog story. Here comes the guy that just beat the freaking streak. And he's about to take on a midget, vanilla midget, Daniel Bryan. Excuse me, I don't think Daniel Bryan's a vanilla midget, you know. It's just when you're facing Brock Lesnar, you're obviously a vanilla midget. But, you know, I'm going to wrap this portion up. Well, not the portion, I'm actually going to wrap the whole show up. I was going to do some live calls, but honestly, there's nothing to call about. So, we're going to save some time. Hopefully until SmackDown or Raw, we'll get some content to talk about, live tweet, live calls, all that good stuff. Wolnot.com, walnutservice@gmail.com, 818-869-3800. Guys, my name is Hunter Wright, logging off. I'll see you guys on SmackDown or Raw. Have a good one, guys.